Hello everyone and welcome to a Warno video on the Southag new divisions and on my favorite one, Luftlande, and on a special little opener, as you can see it down here, as I played against VeggieDog. And yeah, when I saw the speed of the AlphaJet rockets, when I saw the AlphaJet rocket Kampfwertsteigerung and the same speed on the ECM warplane, I knew what I had to do. You can fit 9 planes into an opener here with this deck, and I decided to give it a go and started with an opener here. And I think this one is actually pretty good. So let's have a look here. We go in with the Alouettes. The fast recontrol would be perfect, but it unfortunately takes an air slot, so Alouettes have to do the job. ECM plane can spot against radar AA as well. So we go in with this one coming in front of the AlphaJet swarm that lies in behind it. And the Kampfwertsteigerungs also have AIM-9Ls. With the E-Warfare plane, they all go up to 30 or 40% ECM. And the enemy here had some ADATs. We spotted them early. They shot down one of our AlphaJets, but the rest got through, and we got the ADATs killed. So, ADATs taken out of the equation, and then our AlphaJets and the rest of the gang could get into action. Fallschirmjägers still get a good ambush here on some Cougar. Get some kills there. And the AlphaJet ATGMs can come around. Try to get some kills here as well. Rocket planes coming in, getting some more kills. AlphaJets got a hit here. One of them went down to the F-18, but we got the F-18 pushed out. And we still had a couple guys with rockets remaining. So yeah, Cougar here around and a good couple of enemy infantry units coming in. So it wasn't the perfect opener, and our opponent still had a lot of stuff left, but it for sure did the damage. And the enemy had to adjust. This rocket plane still had all its rockets, so we could bring this one in to deal damage here to the mech CP here, stunning them down, allowing our Fallschirmjägers to get a better fight. F4F brought in to deal as a protector of the AlphaJets, but enemy actually didn't bring in another fighter, so I rather should have invested it into something else here. But yeah, this is a bloody nice opener. I have played it twice since. It still works out, though this was the most interesting game afterwards, and also the most interesting situation in the opener with the double ADATs and the F-18 coming in, trying to defend the enemy from this, not working out. AlphaJet rocket coming around again after reloading. This one was the one that was pushed back immediately from the ADATs, so didn't get to use its rockets earlier. And yeah, AlphaJet here now flying around, trying to get on top of the enemy here. We got some Gepards out in case F-18s come around in higher numbers. Mac Ricky over here gets hunted down by our Gebirgsaufklärer, which with the Mountaineer trait can just sprint through the forest, so they can hunt down units like this, but the enemy got some more infantry in here and our Gebirgsaufklärer got eliminated, so this flank was gone, and we only now got a CV online to take control of this part of the map. Fallschirmjäger B1 disengaging away here from the enemy. E-warplane trying to figure out where the enemy's at. And survive it. ADAT's spotted. This has 10 hit points, 60 CM, so survivability is pretty good. ADAT's gets another missile out. Another unit here firing at it. And we try to get the AlphaJet on top of the ADATs, but we lose line of sight there. So have to try to get away there. Get hit once. But thanks to the Evor, don't get hit by the ADATs, so we can get out. Same time, Fallschirmjäger B1 though, go down and need to be replaced. Fallschirmjäger Reservisten coming in, good AT launcher, mediocre infantry. Leopard 185 here, got into a really good spot, covering this part of the map. protecting it against the enemy, and the Kraka finally came around, but we gave the enemy a good head start here. Whilst they bring around a little Cougar, trying to come towards us here as well. I tried to cut off the enemy with these guys, but TGM vehicles coming up, so had to disengage. Away with the Leos, trying to get around here. Gepards coming up. Mini-Tat with that little minigun below on that little turret, that when it lands, it can't fall to the side. Pretty cool looking little helicopter. Not all that strong though. And now Kraka Führungs here, driving in to capture the zone, getting control of the whole area. Enemy AG plane coming around. Fallschirmjäger Reservisten pushing forward. Gepard's getting on top of the F-18. We lose the last recon helicopter here. That is around in this area. F4F is a bit lucky there. I went too deep. Shouldn't have gone that deep. Drone coming around goes a bit deep as well. Gives us decent information about what's going on, but shouldn't have gone that deep. Outside of our Fallschirmjäger Reservisten here. Push forward. Too bad, thanks to the Kraka. Allows them to be relatively good, but the 11-man squads here on the other side do fight better. The Eric's squad coming around as well, and then comes an EG bomber, getting the double kill. Gepards getting on top of it, but barely leave it alive. So that one can get out alive. We get hit over here. AA coming around against Alouette. Leopard 1A1 has to get out of there. AA trying to get the kill once more, just barely failing. The Gepard situation is desperate. Eric's around, so we have to disengage here. We got an ADATS killed over here with the Aufklärungs Leopard, so that is pretty big. Whilst we have more rocket planes ready, trying to come in now after we killed the ADATS. Marder in a good spotting situation. Ito comes around. Leopard 1A5 has to disengage. Seed getting away. Rocket plane comes in, gets the kill. Javelins moving around. We have a tow cobra coming in. Get the next Cougar killed. Rocket planes coming in for the mech rifles. Javelin is there. We had the smoke off away from the tow cobra, but AlphaJets and Tornado Seed are on top of it. Get it shut down. Whilst we get the mech rifle CP over here killed off as well. Leo 1A1 disengaging. Javelin still around. As the AlphaJets getting out of there. One more guy still around, so setting up one more run here. Seedplane stays on top of it all. But enemy disappears here, so we get the special forces in here. The Hochgebirgsjäger, and these are really cool for fights in areas like this, because they are full special forces plus the Mountaineer, meaning that they have extra speed bonus and then have no speed reduction in the forest. So these are the fastest infantry in the forest, even faster than other Mountaineers, and they can just sprint through it and get on top of the enemy. Oh, rocket plane here setting up its run. AlphaJet Kampfwertsteigerung coming around. There's another unit coming around over here. Another little Hiltus moving forward. Mech rifles getting hit, but the Eric's gets the Leo 1A1. Really, really scary ATGM with the 26 pen. one-shotting about everything. And on this side, enemy is able to take a lot of ground, so we have to be careful there. We lose an AlphaJet, we get the mini-tad killed, and we get most of the infantry here cleaned out, so that the Hochgebirgsjäger can get the sprinting in. And push forward through the forest. Krackerführungs coming along. Gebirgsjäger hitting the mod rifle Erics. Hochgebirgsjäger pushing with them. DPS really good on these guys. Getting rid of them quickly. Getting them out of here. And whilst I now set up a flanking push here to try to clean this up, because with ADATs and stuff like this around here, I don't think I can push any deeper here. Hochgebirgsjägers under artillery fire. And I also think when they bring all the AA over there, we might be able to use the planes over here. So might be good to pivot to the left side and try to get that under control. Hochgebirgsjäger disengaging, javelin around. We see one of these big Hueys coming around. Gepards moving up. 3 Gepards around, close to each other. Should be able to kill off F-18s. As the enemy helicopter flies towards us now. Gets in Gepard range. Layer 1A1 pushing forward. Getting a kill onto an M113 with units inside. But immediately gets shot by a Layer 1 C1, which is the superior layer. And it gets 2 hits and it gets the kill. Pioneer flamethrowers here pushing up now. Hochgebirgsjägers are in cover and have the better weapon loadout for these long range fights as well. The Pioneer flamethrower are not bad, but then the M113s get involved as well. Artillery hitting the Gepard, and that's pretty rough, as losing that means that we really lose the chance of killing off enemy F-18s with our Gepards alone, as we need the triplet there. Meanwhile, we get our big squad onto the ground here now. Those are the Luftgebirgsjäger, 16-man squad, 2 MGs and a sniper rifle. These guys have a lot of firepower coming into the business now as well. And at the same time, we have a push with our remaining Hochgebirgsjäger, special forces, and a couple of Panzer Grenadiers coming out of mortars on the left sides. Planes flying across this as well, as we find the enemy units here. And we push the Panzer Grenadiers forwards as well. Enemy will try to disengage here in a second, but our lurking and stalking Hochgebirgsjäger here just gonna run them down through the forest. One of them gets hit. They get stand down here for a second, which slows them down, but they are still faster than the enemy here. And especially after the rocket planes comes in, second Hochgebirgsjäger here coming around from the side, stunning down these guys, so we can get on top of these guys and just run them down. Getting into shock range here now. And another rocket plane finishes the job, so this side is open. The same side, we lose one martyr with infantry inside to a bit of an ambush here from a Cougar Recce. We have to fall back with the Hochgebirgsjäger. Getting the Luftsturmjäger there in as assistance. Luftgebirgsjäger. Fallschirmjäger here pushing forward. A lot of infantry pushing towards the enemy. Planes keeping the control up. As Layer 1A5 holds the front line. Fuchs. A really cool new unit as well, the Fuchs Aufklärungs. With good optics here as a transport for the recon infantry, the Gebirgsaufklärer, which are pretty good recon infantry as well. The artillery here now coming in, splitting the Luftgebirgsjäger from the normal Hochgebirgsjäger. So Luftgebirgsjäger have to fight against the 2 mech rifles on their own, which they are on a slight disadvantage on. So it's actually not a big one, but both sides of 2 vet. And yeah, we fall back here to get to the supply trucks of the Hochgebirgsjäger to get them buffed back up. 2 F-18s here now, CF 818s, the F-18s here, stalking in the sky. So we get out of the planes. Don't want to get caught there. Whilst getting more units to the front line here. Martyrs pushing on the flank next to the Fallschirmjäger B1. Pushing forward. Ito comes along, gets a kill, but gets blown up here in return as well. So that's a fair trade. Killed this Führungs. Trying to get into the action here as well. But CG Bomber hits us in the middle. We luckily dodge it, so the Gepard stays alive for now. Whilst we try to get the Führungs Iltis here into the zone and get the full capture. Starting to cap the zone here with this. Unfortunately, clicking it on the Hochgebirgsjäger, so this unit actually follows them. And with that, follows them into the range of the McRacky here. And just as we're about to capture, it dies. Big disaster, leaving the zone uncaptured. As the Hochgebirgsjäger deal with the McRacky here. At 0 vet, 2 vets versus 0 vet. We stun them down super fast. But new CV has to be bought here in a second. And at the same time, enemy is trying to get a CV into the northern zone here. Gebirgsjäger did hold the ground here nicely. Had to fall back now. Getting resupplied here. Whilst the other units are getting into the combat. Pioneer flamethrowers getting immediately shredded here by the Panzergrenadiers and the Gebirgsjägers. So flamethrower infantry in general is now a bit better again, but that just completely hits them away again. At the same time, really cool new unit here being used by our enemy with the AT rocket helicopters, and these are murder machines against the Martyrs, so the Martyrs have to be really careful. We luckily started to get some AA online here now. And yeah, pushing deeper into the enemy and the enemy Leos here. Dodged the enemy artillery. So we got deeper towards the enemy Leos, but then the HE F-18 comes in and ruins the day. F-18 number 1 got pushed pretty hard, but didn't quite get killed, and now we lost the Hochgebirgsjäger there. Can't replace them anymore because we only have 1 card of them in the deck, and now only the others are all deployed down here already. AA comes around, deals a bit with these planes, with these helicopters. The rocket planes themselves are hard to bring in when the enemy has so many F-18s now, so we have to be careful. Another CV comes in to start getting the capture. Enemy keeps contesting. We are still behind on points, which is a big issue here, whilst trying to get in more infantry into the zone here. Can't replace any Gepard losses, so by now we have lost 2 here, as 1 got run down by a cluster bomber after our Gepards revealed themselves against the enemy bomber. And that means killing off planes down here will become pretty rough. Our Luftgebirgsjäger deal pretty well against the mech rifles, but the enemy Leo 1s are a big problem. Coming around with AlphaJet rockets. Try to deal with them. Getting 1 killed. Running into ADATs. And that's a problem there as well. And the AlphaJet rockets, 2 of them getting killed off there. Luftsturmjäger here. Still under heavy fire. AlphaJet A with Kampfwertsteigerung. Trying to get the hit here. Not getting it. That's pretty frustrating. As ADATs fly around us once more, but with the 20% ECM, we at least get out of this one. We have the +2 here now from the side, so even losing Bravo wouldn't be the end of the world. Would still be a +1 as long as we hold the middle, and with Leo 1 at the Jaguar here, and we kind of would have to come from here. But this situation is derailing, and the enemy also is building up something here, and we're still behind in points, so it's not gonna be easy. Gebirgsjäger moving around, get hit up. Leopard C1 pushing slowly forward. Yes, we have martyrs here on the side. Hochgebirgsjäger pushing forward. F-18's getting into the sky again. Artillery hits all around the board. Kraka-Führungs tasked to move forward again. HE bomber and cluster bomber in the sky. Because we have a lot of F4 with the improved air-to-air missile out in the sky here. Enemy ADAT's actually shocking them there. Let's try to deal with the enemy with the artillery. And keep on pushing here on the left flank. Keep on trying to get into the rear zone. Ultramega B1 disengaging here. As we have more HE bombers coming around. And yeah, this zone is a bit of a troublesome one. We get the Leo. One more Leo to go now here. Until we maybe can push forward again. New planes are pretty numerous. Plus the bomber comes along. Directly goes for Armada and Fuchs. Gets the damage done. As the FOFs stay around here. Leo 1A1 is stunning us down. Artillery comes directly on top of us. So we have to disengage there immediately again. Whilst Kapwärtssteuerung AlphaJet comes around again. Gets the hit this time. But gets smoked immediately in return. So Gebirgsjäger is now pretty stunned down. Pushing into the mech rifles here. Germans not good at moving it and shooting. Like the MG3 and the G3 Zielfernrohr can't be used at this point. So that's a bit of a problem. Leo 1C there is a problem as well, but at the same time we have a good push going on here. So counterattack over here, so little forces here left after we moved a couple units here and the cluster bomber hit. New reinforcements are absolutely necessary. At the same time, have to be worried about the enemy pushing through here, getting deeper into the zone. F-18's here, being pretty efficient, dealing a lot of damage, and not getting hurt. Artillery trying to come towards the mech, get their load on top of the mech rifles there. That doesn't quite work out. But we get the push through here. We stretch the enemy thing, and that is how you have to play this division. Like, situations like how we lost the Hochgebirgsjägers are not supposed to happen. Like, you are not allowed to let the enemy be able to acquire that many bombers, and also not give them targets. Like, spread them out, and kill them off when they try to do something like that with your thin planes. So I think Luftlande is a pretty good division if you play it correctly. I don't think it's OP because it has big weaknesses like that AA tab. It has no tank heavier than the Leo 1, so you don't have really massive staying power either, but your openers can be quite scary, and when you use them correctly, they can get you quite deep into the game with Patromega B1 and the Hochgebirgsjäger with the plane opener. You don't have really a helicopter opener or so, but the Leo 1A5 recon is pretty scary as well. We got to push through here now, and we are in a +4. Enemy has a good force around the side here though, so we gotta be careful as they get more infantry out there, and they are still in a pretty good spot over here. ADAT's pushing back our plane. As we get one helicopter killed here, and then get shot at by an enemy Leo. We get out alive. Cougar there as well. Disengaging away from the enemy. And the rocket planes, unfortunately, don't have any line of sight there to get their rockets on targets. ADAT's still a problem, but we have double seat, so we get both of them. And that's pretty big. We lose one seat plane there to the javelin spam, but ADAT's kills are big as they are really good against mechanized forces as well. We get the mech rifle killed over here. F4Fs going in pretty close to the enemy though. And the F-18 hunting down one of them. Lose that one. Second F4F trying to help out here. Gets the kill. But more F-18s coming around right behind it. And that's the kill of this on the second F4F. And that means we are kind of down to Fliegerfausts and one Gepard as the AA. And then 2 more planes that we have to try to get some kills with. The 20mm here maybe can push them away, but they can't really kill them. Mech rifles here pushing forward. The +4 is pretty big though. Only 15 minutes remaining and we start to get a real lead here now. The Krakaführungs staying alive is really helpful for this as well. It's the M901G. Try to get a lot of damage on to this. We run into the cluster. Luckily backed a bit away. That 1M109 goes down. Leo 1A1 goes down as well. Gebirgsjäger goes down too. So this situation starts to become a bit dicey here. This is the big one though, that we have this zone now. That we can threaten the enemy rear. Trying to find the enemy CV in this zone with artillery. Not successful so far. Well, 20mm tried to help out in the infantry fights over here. Leo 1A1s have come around as well. Cluster bomber gets no kill at all there. And the 20mm trying to help out, but as I said earlier, they don't really deal a lot of damage. F-18 coming around, running directly into the tornado. And the Fliegerfausts actually get the kill there. So, yeah, having the enemy fly directly over them, they actually can do a bit of damage. Leo dealing with the M113s, and that's important to keep this up. Krakaführungs goes down over here now, but we have a good couple of infantry that maybe can at least get back in there. And it still is a +3, and that's where the enemy surrenders. And we get the W with this really, really wild opener. Really great game. Reggie Dog, top level player here as well. 80% win rate. It was even higher as they were 21-4 when we played there. And yeah, it really came down to that opener. AlphaJets against the ADATs. That was a big one, and then we played it from there. Obviously, we could have taken the ground differently as well, but the opener did work, and we kept them on the foot. We switched side when the enemy got AA online. That's important as well. Otherwise, you get caught and you just get shredded. So, yeah, let me know down below what your favorite kind of new shenanigans is with the new DLC. And see you all in the next one.